the First Lady of the Republic of Rwanda, members of the Diplomatic Corps, our trailblazers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Let me begin by saying that it is a great pleasure to be here today as we as Kenyans join the rest of the world in celebrating the 2022 International Women's Day. I am happy to note that this gathering does include an intergenerational mix of participants from the entire spectrum of our society. Our progress on gender equality has been driven by countless women at the grassroots, in academia, in politics, in boardrooms, women who have dedicated their lives to championing gender equality. I salute today all of you who in small and big ways have done and continue to do your best to make Kenya a fairer and better place for your families, your communities, and the nation. As we look back on our gender journey over the last 10 years, and indeed over the 59 years since our independence, I do believe we have many reasons to celebrate. And let me just outline a few. Recognizing that education is a best buy for gender equality and empowerment, we have sustained a focus on girls' education and have now achieved gender parity at both primary and secondary school levels. Today, we are proud that every girl child has equal opportunities as the boy child to enroll in school, remain in school, and pursue a career of her choice. We celebrate also the major strides we have made on universal health care and the health gains that we have registered for women and children. Between 2008 and 2020, we recorded a significant decline in key maternal and child health indicators, including under 5 mortality, fertility rate, and maternal mortality. Further, life expectancy at birth has increased to about 67 years, with women living longer than men. So, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, women in Kenya continue to shatter the leadership glass ceiling. A year ago, I was proud to appoint Judge Martha Koome as the first female Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya. 1/3 of my cabinet has been composed of women, some in strategic portfolios, including defense, lands, foreign affairs, energy, to name but a few. And an increasing number of women continue to assume positions of leadership in academia, but also in public and private sectors. We continue to strengthen women's economic empowerment with a focus on vulnerable but entrepreneurial women. And since 2013, through the Women Enterprise Fund, for example, over 20 billion Kenya shillings has been dispersed to over 1 million women enterprises across our country. And since the implementation of our new constitution in 2010, various legislations have been enacted to advance gender equality. Among the most notable is the Matrimonial Property Act of 2013, which safeguards women's property rights, the Land Act and the Land Registration Act, which secures women's land rights, the Prevention Against Domestic Violence Act of 2015, as well as the Election Offences Act 2016, to protect women against violence during elections. Ladies and gentlemen, it is notable, yes, that we have made significant progress in empowering our women folk but we cannot say that we have achieved all our objectives, and therefore we cannot rest on our laurels. There are still outstanding systemic, structural, and cultural barriers, as well as regional disparities to address. A continuous focus on gender issues is therefore a priority for my administration, and should be so even for future administrations. To enable girls from poor backgrounds to stay in school, we have ensured that at least 50% of scholarships are allocated to girls. In 2020, for example, out of 4,811 out of 9,000 scholarships were awarded to girls. And in addition, the government allocates annually about 400 million Kenya shillings to ensure that girls in public schools have access to free sanitary towels. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, female genital mutilation is one cultural practice that has continued to undermine the realization of the potential of our womenfolk. Indeed, it undermines the participation of girls in education, and in addition, it has harmful health consequences. In recognition of this fact, I did make a personal commitment to lead the war to end female genital mutilation. I'm pleased to inform this gathering on the progress that we have made to curb this harmful practice, and I want to applaud cultural as well as religious leaders, especially from the Borana, Samburu, and Pokot communities, who have made bold public declarations to eliminate FGM, and also has serious and disruptive spillover effects on our children. As a country, we are proud to co-lead the Global Action Coalition on advancing gender equality and ending all forms of gender-based violence. And indeed, last June, during the Paris Generation Equality Forum, we announced a set of bold commitments to address systemic barriers that allow gender-based violence to thrive in Kenya. And to date, we have recognized some progress towards the fight against gender-based violence. First, we have developed guidelines for the management of county gender-based violence recovery centers to ensure that survivors have access to quality essential services. Second, in October of last year, we launched the integrated policy response to gender-based violence for the National Police Service, and the policy would steer the National Police Service in the establishment, management, and operations of one-stop centers to provide survivors with comprehensive legal, psychosocial, as well as health support. And third, an anti-FGM prosecution unit that has been set up in the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. So, ladies and gentlemen, while the government will continue to strengthen the laws and regulations to address gender-based violence, it is incumbent upon all of us as individuals and society to protect our women and girls. These are our daughters, our sisters, and our loved ones.